Hey crafty friends, it's Jen from Katahdin Krafts and welcome back to the Cottage Cutz YouTube channel. This week I created another card using the Christmas Part 2 release. It's been so much fun working with all of these Christmas dies. Now, the winner of the North Pole Santa from my last video is Sandy BB36. Congratulations, Sandy, and I will have all the information that you need to collect that die listed below. You have until my next video to go ahead and claim that. And this week, a lucky viewer is going to have the opportunity to win the Rustic Winter Window. You just have to like and comment below on this video, and then you will be entered into a chance to have that giveaway die. All right, now speaking of the Rustic Winter Window, this is what is featured in my card today. Isn't it just beautiful? All of the elements that are in this die are amazing. And I'm also going to use the Christmas tree and the chair from Cozy Winter Fireplace. That is going to be my scene looking in through that window. And for this week's project, I wanted to do my Copic marker coloring. So I'm using Copic marker friendly cardstock onto my double-sided sticker paper. And then I go ahead and cut that through, and that helps me hold all of those little elements together when I'm coloring. I did the same thing to the portion of the Cozy Winter Fireplace that I needed. And now I'm just going to go off camera and color up all of that in my favorite color schemes. And if you ever have a question of what colors I use on my cards, go ahead and drop me a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Now I also went ahead and cut out just that rectangle portion that goes behind the window with a pattern paper that looked like wallpaper to me, because that's going to be behind the window looking in on that scene. And then I went and picked out some background papers that I thought would go well with this scene, and I wanted it to look like the siding of a house, and I happened to have a piece of paper in my stash that looked like siding, so I went ahead and used that, and I cut that down to 3 3/4 by 5, and then that will fit in perfectly on my card panel, which is an A2 card base. Now I'm going to take that rectangle piece of, we'll call it wallpaper, and connect that to my sticker back paper just because I wanted to have that versatility of building that still on the sticker. And I'm going to assemble the Christmas tree from the Cozy Winter Fireplace. And as you can see, I just love this little bit of the what it looks like garland, and I did that in a sparkly silver, and I did all of the ornaments in sparkles as well. I like a little shimmer and shine. Now I'm going to use the window as a template so I can see exactly where I want that Christmas tree. And as you can see, my first try wasn't exactly where I wanted it, so I'm just going to lift that up carefully because that sticker paper really does have some tack to it. So I'm going to lift that up carefully and I'm going to slide that over. And now I wanted you to see on this chair how there is a little section that lifts right there on the arm, and you can tuck that little pillow right into that, and it makes it really look like it has some depth and dimension. And again, I'm going to lift up that very tacky sticky paper and I'm going to put that chair behind that. So again, when you're looking in, it really does give kind of like a three-dimensional look to that whole scene. So I like that. And notice that it's overhanging, but we're going to fix that in a second. And I had some of that floor exposed and I didn't want it to be confused with the wallpaper. So again, I'm going to lift that up, which again, that is quite tacky, but you can, if you're really careful, it can work. You can maneuver that still. So I'm going to slip that piece of paper underneath, and this is the reverse side of the paper that I'm using for the siding. It has that like barn kind of look floor, and I just thought it looked like a floor. So I'm going to put that right there. And again, I'm not worried about the overhang because in just a second, we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to snip right along all of those edges and clean that right up. Now we just have to add that little star to the top of that Christmas tree, and our little inside scene is all done. And see, by layering that rectangled piece that looks like the wallpaper on top of the sticker paper, it helps to give this a groove when I'm cleaning up the edge with those scissors, and it just gives that a little bit more stability. And now we just have to add our window frame, and our inside scene is complete. And I'm just going to add all of this onto my card base. Again, I'm using an A2 size card, today for this. You could also use probably a mini slimline card would look really cute with this die as well. And I decided once I put that down that I needed a little bit of dimension. So now I'm just going to add some sticky foam paper to the back of that window, and that'll pop it right off that card beautifully. And the nice thing about that is that I can do it whatever size that I want. And it is quite sticky, though this isn't very forgiving, so once it's down, it's going to stay there. And now I'm going to work on the outside of the window, which I love all of this, all the little elements, all the little different leaves. And what I did is I used different shades of green for each section of the foliage. And to me, that just adds some interest to the card because there is a lot of the same colors with the reds and the greens, but I just try to do different shades. And I am a really traditionalist when it comes to Christmas colors like this. If you noticed my work the last few weeks, I do really like the reds and the greens, the traditional colors. So I went with that, what I liked. And as I always say, I use the package. You can see that packaging up in the corner, and I do refer to that quite often when I'm putting together my dies. There's so many different layers that I just want to make sure that I'm using that as a guide. And that is a fabulous thing with Cottage Cutz dies, is that they do have that full colored picture on the front, which helps with assembling and inspiration both. So as I'm finishing my scene, I just wanted to thank everybody for stopping in and crafting with me again today, and I apologize for my stuffy nose. I have been under the weather for at least a week and a half now. I just can't seem to shake this off, so I apologize for that. And I went ahead and cut out Season's Greetings. And you can see here how I do my coloring. Now, I didn't do this on the sticky paper, and honestly, I was regretting that decision as I started to color, because the reason why I do it on, or one of the reasons why I do it on that sticky paper, is to hold all these little delicate pieces together. And that's why I was struggling a little bit more with coloring it. So to me, one of my biggest tips is always using that sticky paper when I want to do my Copic marker coloring. And I added the seasons on the front, and I did put greetings on the inside of the card, and I do apologize because for some reason I did lose that footage, just that last little bit on my video, but I did put that sentiment on the inside of the card as well. So remember to like and comment below on this video in order to be entered into the giveaway for the Rustic Winter Window, which is a super cute die. And thanks again for stopping in. Make sure you go over to the CottageCutz blog. There is daily inspiration there from an amazing design team. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Take care and happy crafting.